Oh, good morning, everyone. This is your RJ. In case you don't know me, I'm RJ Redden, and entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most are screaming into a black hole. They're a carbon copy of everybody else, or they just can't get any engagement on or offline. So, I create epic chatbot experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. Bottom line, I am on a mission to motivate 1 million people to change their marketing. Today, we're starting with you. So, my darlings, today I'd like to talk about a topic that I was recently talking with one of the clients about, and it was really very interesting. It sort of brings us back to basics with chatbots, also known as conversational marketing. Why is this better than traditional marketing? There's a couple of reasons I'm going to go over here. But basically, the reason why is because conversational marketing has been used since the beginning of time, since man first crushed grapes and attempted to sell the leftovers, to someone for a night out. I mean, it's existed since the beginning of time. It works really, really well. And yeah, if you look back, it's always been that one-to-one. It's always been that let's go talk over a cup of coffee. It's been the network marketing meetings. It's been the art of the conversation, because what you're trying to do so often is get someone on the phone or get someone to meet with you face to face. In those meetings, the conversation, how it takes its course, naturally moves to a certain place. You remember what people say, hopefully. You automatically, you kind of take some mental notes or whatever. The next time you have a conversation with that person, you address them in a friendly way, right? You'll maybe pick up something that you remembered about your last conversation. Hey, how's the wife? Hey, how's that job transition you were doing? How are the kids? You'll ask about something that person had in progress. Your brain will just automatically dig that up, and you'll be able to start that relationship right from where you stopped, right? Now, this seems so elementary, doesn't it? It just seems like, duh. Yes, of course, RJ, we do that. We don't do that in digital marketing at all. We don't do that in traditional methods of marketing at all. We do with our emails, with our social media, with so many other things that we try on a regular basis. We're not picking up where people left off. We're treating people as new every time we see them. This is the crux, I think. I'm not even going to say I think. This is the crux, I know, of why conversational marketing is so much better than all of the traditional methods that we use. When we do an email blast, it's a spray and pray, right? Some people take the time to segment their audiences and write things and, get all that down and really look at their, the details of that. And most people just email because we're told to email. You know what I'm saying? We don't take the time enough to design that experience because most people don't read their email. So why would you put the time in? Okay? That's the difference. When you're designing a conversation, which is what I do with chatbots, I design your side of a conversation. I think about all of the places that all the questions somebody might ask in that conversation, where they might want to go in that conversation, and then I put it online for people. That's the real peanut shell of what I do. When I'm doing that, I'm taking the very best of how we present ourselves, and I'm putting that online for you. I'm making that one-on-one conversation one-on conversation that we're having. Doesn't take much to have one. And I'm taking that and putting it in an online space where people can access that and where I can do the things that I naturally do with everybody. When you have a conversation, you keep track of where that person is. You remember facts about them. When you see them again, it's a way different greeting than when you saw them the first time. Users follow a path. Users don't have to be treated as if they're one size fits all. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. This is an important point. Let me just read this one, Teresa. I need to redesign mine, your bot, in a way that centers on conversations instead of information. Exactly. Because when you're teaching, Teresa, and that's, for those of you who don't know Teresa, she's an amazing teacher. When you're delivering information, it's all within the vehicle of a conversation. And basically, that's what we're asking you to do with chatbots. We're asking you to take a different vehicle. We're asking you to deliver information differently. I'm asking for a big change. Getting 1 million people to change their marketing is that's a big deal. That's a lot of people. But I think the value here, I'm absolutely convinced the value here is worth your time. It's worth taking a look at because it has so much more possibility than the way that we normally market. There was this song out about a year ago, and I saw this movie on a plane recently. It was called A Star is Born. I won't spoil it for you. But one of the songs from it became a hit, obviously, because it's Lady Gaga, and how could it possibly not? I love you, Lady Gaga. Anyway, the song is called Shallow, and it's I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. What's the rest of it? I totally forgot. I've listened to this song 100 times in the last 2 weeks. It's all about being in the deep end of something. It's all about being out of the shallow waters. To me, a lot of the traditional marketing is the shallow waters. The just how many people can I get on my email list? It's you apply to be on, a speaker or on somebody's summit, and they tell you, well, I need you to have at least 10,000 on your list before I'll let you into my summit. Because, if you're not reaching that many people, then your topic or we can't do it. That's what we're constantly chasing after. We're constantly chasing being a blip on someone's radar. What if you could stand out? What if you could be much more than a blip? What if you could be a mountaintop on somebody's radar? Because you took the time to personally know them, to have a conversation. Many of you might think that kind of conversation is impossible because, you can't have a personal conversation at scale with 100 people at once. No, you physically cannot. But if I botify you, you can. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Let's reawaken the conversation. Let's go as far as to say, I'm going to make this primarily a conversation with people. I'm going to have a deeper interaction with people wherever I go, whatever I do on the internet. I am going to try to have that personal interaction. And most of the time it'll be with my bot because I'm only one human being, but that's good. That's good because my bot takes notes for me. It's my online virtual assistant. It takes notes for me. It knows where I am in the conversation, and it knows how to pick up the conversation when that person comes back. Let's see. Stacy says you don't spend that much time on it because most people don't read their emails. It's an amazing point. Absolutely. When's the last time? I remember, 10 years ago or so when I joined Facebook, crafting Facebook posts. Do you remember this? I crafted them. What's the right image? Let's make an image. What's the right amount of stuff? What are the right words above the fold? How are we going to make that sexy to people so they'll click and see the whole thing? Should I draw them to something, or should I just make conversation? That was it, man. That was awesome stuff, because way back in time, you could make a post on your page and everybody would see it and people would react to it and respond and reply. And you could engage people in that. Now, your organic reach is pterodactyl arms. You know what I mean? It's not very much. And so I don't spend time crafting that stuff. I put enough stuff on my page so that people know I'm a legitimate human being with a legitimate business. Hello, that's all I need to do. I don't need to, comb the internet for the right posts. I don't need to do that anymore because people aren't seeing that necessarily. Hey, Denise, good to see you. I'm one who doesn't read my own emails. I love you. I just love you. That's fantastic. Stacy says, the open click and conversion rates on my bot are mind-blowing. Exactly, they are. Exactly. There's a right way to do bots and there's a wrong way. The wrong way is come buy my stuff every single time. Or either come buy my stuff or look what I'm doing every single time you get something from a bot. Wow. That is just not the right way to do things. And a lot of people are doing it that way. Listen, nobody's that interested in me. You know what I mean? Hi, I've just gone down the hall to the bathroom. Why? Why would anyone care? Why would anyone care? So the right way to start a conversation is not, hi, look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Hi, guess what I've done in my life? Here's an award I won. Who cares? No. The best way is to reach out your hand and say, hey, my name's RJ. What's yours? That's the best way to start a conversation. And that is something that you can do within your chatbot. The engagement will be insane. The return on investment, also insane. This is why when I saw chatbots, I changed my entire premise of my business. I just went chatbots all the way. It took me 2 weeks to decide. And that's because a conversation is a powerful and engaging thing. Otherwise, we would not do that. And here's the real deal. No matter what format you have this conversation in, you and the other person who, is facing you, you both have control over that conversation. Not people who own large social networks, not people who govern whether you get emails or not, the internet. These bots, you can put them in Facebook Messenger if you want. I put them on websites now because then that really is something that you can control and design the entire experience of without having to deal with Messenger. But think about that. You're never going to have to be in a place where, I have a client who I tell his story all the time. He runs a keto challenge, a 30-day. He is one of the nicest guys on the face of the earth. He has a huge group. It's about 40,000 people. And one day he woke up and he couldn't make a post in the group. When he went to Facebook and asked why, they told him something different. They said, hey, go down this path and apply for a real ID. He got the process gummed up in the middle of getting that, and then he couldn't reapply for that. It took him a couple of weeks to be able to post in his own group, and that is a huge source for him. So you want to be in control of the conversation. You want to return to the art of the conversation in your marketing. It's not about how many you have. It's about how much those people are interested in the solution that you're offering. It's about how well you engage those people, how thoughtful you are. Let's start a revolution. Let's start a movement. Let's go. Let's go make it happen, because honestly, it's time. It's time for us. It's time to us to take things into our own hands. Folks that own social networks, folks that that own whether you get to see somebody's email or not. All of that stuff. All of that stuff. I don't know if it's made the world better. I don't know if a stronger reach has made the world better, but I do know this. My conversations with people in my chatbots, my clients, my friends, all of you have made my world better simply by being in it. So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the beginning of a revolution. Tomorrow, I will be back. Hopefully I'll be on time. Who can possibly predict? But I will be back. I'll be back with another little short tidbit on conversational marketing and why we need to move to it. Before I go, Stacy says I use a one-page PDF that could have been a free opt-in to launch a group program via bot. It had a 20% conversion rate. Absolutely. Absolutely. The conversion rates on those things. And that's conversational conversion, that happens to me all the time. I was on a boat for a week, everybody. I was on a boat for an entire, it was 8 days. My wife was on the boat with me. She was wandering around somewhere, and I was having conversation after conversation after conversation. Everybody that I heard remarked about how cool the energy was in the room, how awesome it was to be talking with other people who, understand marketing, but weren't pitching at each other. We've gotten lost in this pitch process. Short and sweet, you know what I mean? And for me, if it comes in the middle of a conversation, if it comes about naturally and normally and not like hitting you over the head, guess what I'm doing today? Oh my gosh, I've got a thing. The time for that stuff is over. The time for that stuff is over. So, Teresa says, we used to do that on Facebook all day, post every little move we made. Absolutely. We used to do that. The time for that is over too, which some people would probably say that would be pretty good. I would be included in that. Anyway, I was on a boat having conversation after conversation, and some of them naturally moved towards a partnership. Some of them naturally moved towards a collaboration. Some of them naturally moved to nowhere. Some of them naturally moved toward some, me doing some chatbots for people. Excellent. Let's make that happen all the time. We can do it with chatbots, everybody. If you're interested in hanging out with me, text bots 555-888, because you'll get asked a couple of questions. It'll spit out a little bot strategy for you. It'll be really cute. And then it'll invite you to hang out with me. That's what I want. I want you to come hang out with me. If you're interested in this revolution, let's make it happen. The only way to make it happen is together. All right, darlings, I'll be back tomorrow, and thanks for listening. Have a great day. See you at 10 a.m. See you in a bot. Bye.